Hello guys, welcome to this video. I would like to talk of one thing, which is physical inventory. And we are at the end of the month. As I'm making this video here on the 30th of November, so one of the things that you may need to do with your inventory is to make a count and know which items are on the shelf. The items on the shelf matching with the items that are in your system. So basically, when you go to your item list, you'll find there's on hand quantity here, a column that shows the amounts that are available on hand. Let me filter mine properly. So you have this one, sorry for that. You have, for example, this one, Kefraxon, which is 37, and all these digits over there. Are these quantities really on your shelf? So I think that's why you need to make a physical count so that you should verify if these items are indeed the ones that are on the shelf. Are there any losses in your inventory, or are there any gains, if any? Maybe some items that you received and maybe you didn't include in the system. So you find out when you do physical inventory. So to do that, I'm going back. You would go to inventory, so here on top, and then down here you have start physical inventory. You punch that one, and then you find this one. So in this case, you can do this one either by going shelf by shelf and counting and then putting the digits here. You find you have item name, and then you have all those description that you would expect, and then here we have the expected. So these are expected quantities, the ones that you expect to find on the shelf. And here is a column where you'll be manually putting the quantities that you have counted on your shelf. And this other column will be giving you the difference in the quantity if there be any differences. Let's say I have started my another thing, before you come here and start putting the quantities, I I recommend a quicker ways to go to the shelves, have a piece of paper and write the names and quantities, names and quantities. You go around and then get those pieces of paper and sit down and start entering the items. Um, so there are several ways of sorting this data. So you can sort it in terms of alphabetic order, and you can sort it in terms of the expected or in terms of item number by just clicking the headers, just maybe like that. So I've sorted it in terms of the alphabetic order, so you can see the C's there. So if I click again, then it will start with the other values. So here I'm back to this. I want to sort it in terms of the expected, like this. Yeah, so from the highest to the lowest. Now let's say here I've counted 37, exactly 37. On the column of difference, there is nothing yet. Here 25, there's nothing yet. But let me say I have counted, instead of 17 of dark of dry, I've counted 15. The difference of 2, which is a negative, will appear here. And pay attention to this bottom left, this bottom part where there's some analysis. So here there's more than expected, more than expected, and there's less than expected. So we have -2 as less than expected, which has a price of this one. So the total price, selling price for the 2 that we have lost is -948, and the total cost for the 2 that we have lost, because we have actually lost these 2, the system says you are supposed to get 17. So the cost of that is that. And here there is net difference. The net difference, I think you understand this in a bit. Let me just put this one, more than expected. So let's say instead of 10, we have found 13 for this one. So we have positive 3 here, and the positive 3 will appear in the more than expected column. So here we have 3. In terms of price, we'll have 11,750. So in terms of price of the 3 that we have just gained, that's why it's appearing green. And here on cost, this is the cost of the 3 that we have gained. And the difference here is the difference between the quantities, the price, and the cost. So these values here will be cumulative. You know, here instead of 6, I found 5. The negative 1 will be added to the negatives, and so as the other details there. And here I find 7. So it will be cumulative. So at the end of the physical inventory, you will be having this analysis. So the net difference is actually that we have gained. So yeah, so that shows some anomaly in the system. In how you enter your system. Maybe you are forgetting a lot of things enter. When there are negatives, it means that maybe some items are being lost whilst on the shelf. Pali pakakhala ma positives ndiye kuti zinthu zina zake zikumayiwalidwa kupangidwa enter maybe mukugulisa but maybe simunagulise but you entered them ngati munagulisa, or mwalandira katundu but you forgot it altogether to enter into the system. Things like those. Zinthu zina zangobwera zopanda ma receipt and then you just added it to the system. So there can be several reasons why inventory can be added, but trust me, these things happen. So here, maybe let me say these other items I don't have, and then my items zatera ababa kwina koseko ni mazero. So there's another button here, another option that says set all items not counted to 0. I can just deactivate this and then activate it again. So you see it has put my zeros in the rest of the entry fields all the way down. So in this case, I'm done with my count. Sometimes there is also another systematic way of getting to the items. let me conclude first. Maybe for if you want some more other tips, or you can stick on to the video. But let me conclude because the physical inventory part is done. And here you can say apply changes to the inventory. So if I click apply changes to the inventory, the changes will be applied. So here apply changes, you update inventory quantities. So selecting yes will update inventory quantities. Yes, so I want to update this inventory quantities because the ones counted are the true values. Yes, so the items have been created, have been updated. The quantities have been updated in the inventory, and a memo has been created showing those adjustments that have been made. Okay, so run a difference report. So you can run a report to show the differences and everything. For me, I will skip, but if you like, you can also go through that differences report. So as I was saying, you can go to this, and then when you are doing the let's say you have a lot of items, you can use the find thing here. So let's say I want to find the medicine. I'll just search here and then press enter, or using the smaller icon here, and then I'll find the item and then select item. It will take you straight to that item, and then you put the quantities that you've found, and then you also search another one here, and then select item. It will go to that item, and then you select it. You put the value, and then on and on you continue. So you can do it in several ways. And another one is also on the view. So you can choose to view all the items or the counted items only, or the differences only. So basically it's just about the views that you want to have filtering your data. And also there's an option here, save and continue. The save and continue button is there. Mugabanga, you can click save and continue in case makisata zima, so that the data minimal website ikayolia bangla save. Physical even trend is over busy. It's a big job counting, let's say 2000 plus items. So mugaiga, so you click save and continue, which means data mendal wesa yabanga save, and then I continue putting the other data, filling in. I continue and then save and continue. In this case I can close. Ndikuzapitiriza some time, so I continuing some time, I'll just say start physical inventory. So I will continue right from where I stopped. So you can see here there are already the quantities that I put here, there, as you can see up here. And then you continue putting the values, and so on, save and continue. And when you are done, that's when you apply the changes to the inventory. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions about how you can go about doing this, please contact me. Otherwise I'm available for help. But if you take too long not counting your items, not making my physical inventory, then you happen that your system will have a lot of negatives pandaye mene mukuzapanga physical inventory. I recommend that you do it at least once a month, or ngati mungakhale kuti mumina mufuna period yaitali kwambiri isapitilire 3 months. At least every once in a month kumapangako the physical inventory, or every 2 months or 3 months, depending on how busy your shop is. Thank you so much. We'll talk next, if anything.